continuing into his administration with the lies and conspiracy theorist in chief over at HHS, potentially in RFK Jr., who is willing to put up a little bit of a facade of his conspiracies by saying that he's focused on diet and exercise and lowering the sugar content of our food when really he just wants to go after vaccines and science. It's dangerous and needs to be called out, which is exactly what Chris Hayes did in the segment that poked a little bit of fun at MAGA right here.
16 years ago, another incoming administration made health and food a key policy priority. Oh, and the right absolutely lost their mind about it.
Tonight, your America is turning into a nanny state thanks to the Obama administration's efforts to rein in the junk food industry. I like junk food. I like McDonald's. I like Wendy's. I like Burger King. I love Kentucky Fried Chicken. I love Ruth's Chris, my favorite steakhouse. Leave my salt and my McDonald's alone.
Come and pry it from my cold, dead hands. Now, a lot of those same people are suddenly, I don't know why, but all of a sudden taking those exact same ideas seriously now that they're coming from RFK Jr.
I love RFK Jr. in this position because, Greg, we should be the healthiest country in the world, but we're the sickest country in the world.
RFK Jr., to his credit, is the right person to lead this effort at HHS. Now, can America do better on issues like obesity and heart disease and strokes and diabetes? Can we get rid of chemicals and hormones in our food like Europe? You know, it is time to make America healthy again through accountability and through transparency.
Sean Hannity is now on the let's regulate food the way the Europeans do train. Okay? Now that Trump ally RFK says junk food and obesity are a problem, I guess it has the thrill of dissident knowledge pushing against the system and the liberal elites. But of course, and here's the rub really, along with some of these totally correct critiques of the status quo, the anti-system coalition that Trump has built is also full of ludicrous, delusional, dangerous ideas. In Kennedy's case, there are a lot of them.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective. I do believe that autism does come from vaccines.
It's all nutty and in a lot of cases just genuinely dangerous fear-mongering. They just corrupted conspiratorial thinking. And Kennedy's most disqualifying statements, the reason that him being appointed to HHS is so grave, is his views on vaccines. And I don't want to overstate the case here. Vaccines are one of the 5 greatest achievements of human civilization, bar none. In fact, we've got a pretty good recent example. Just 4 years ago, we managed to develop a vaccine in the midst of a once-in-a-century pandemic. It was the one unambiguously good achievement of Donald Trump's first term. It saved millions of lives. But the denialism of people like Robert F. Kennedy poisoned the minds of hundreds of thousands of more who could have been saved, who refused the vaccine and died. The death toll is astounding. I don't know if there's a movement with a bigger one in recent times. This is a person who should not be anywhere near a health system of any kind, certainly not in charge of the federal agency responsible for drug development and vaccines and the health of hundreds of millions of Americans. So yes, there is plenty wrong with our food and health systems in this country. There are plenty wrong with a lot of the systems in this country. And the alienation people feel from them and the curiosity they feel towards folks that say it's screwed up is well earned. But this dude, Robert Kennedy Jr., is not the person to fix it. What he's going to do is break it. And break it so that we have something worse than what we have now.
Republicans want to pretend that their support for RFK Jr. is based in a desire to make America healthy again, to cut the sugar out of our foods, to eat better, to exercise. But that's not true. If they can get people to buy into that premises for thinking that's the reason why RFK Jr. says what he does, well then they might go along with his attacks on vaccines, his attacks on science, his attacks on expertise more broadly. Because that's what this is about. If he can go after one institution, if he can say the government is corrupt because of its involvement with Big Pharma, which there certainly are great examples of that we want to point out, but maybe they can get you to believe that everything is broken. completely, and that only Donald Trump should be in charge of fixing it. That's what they want to do. That's the end goal. And so we have to call out all of those steps or else they win.